the podcast. We got the nerd button on repeat and we're gonna smash. Come on in, I assure you that we're open. Shoe polish on our signs cause our locks are always broken. You need that view askew? You know we got you, dude. Showing gratitude and always smiling, never rude. Top 5 movie reviews and what's new. We bring in all the big guns when we coming through. Welcome to the stage. Come on, enjoy the cast. Hurry up, don't come in last. You know we love it, the sacred stash.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Live from the Secret Stash. How y'all doing today? I am one of 3 hosts, Christian Cortez, joined always by the lovely and awesome
Michael Zapsik. Thank you so much for calling me that, Christian.
There you go.
You're quite the cutie yourself. Aww. And speaking of cuties, the lovely and talented Julia Zapsik to my right.
Good evening, gentle folks.
How you guys doing?
We is spectacular.
We're doing well.
Doing all right.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Friggin',
it just feels like every week it's Wednesday and I'm writing up the notes. I'm like, how the hell did another week go by? Like, wasn't it just Wednesday last night?
It just seems to kind of jump around a little bit and not the fun
jump
jump around where you'd have to jump up and get down.
And now
I
it's
literally
May?
feel like it's just kind of speeding through. Yeah, I'm like, how's it May?
I'm like, yeah.
And especially, it don't feel like it
No.
because it's been cold.
Yeah, it's still cold.
Sucks. It's
Yeah.
like, I wake up, it's like 45 degrees when I let the dogs out at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, fuck this noise. Yeah. I'm like, I wanted it to be spring.
Right.
Yeah,
But I didn't want
course.
it to be like March 23rd spring.
Yeah,
I want it
April
to be
showers bring May flowers.
Yeah, it's
like,
or May.
Yeah.
I don't know, May
something.
heat stroke.
May,
I'll take it.
May tiny heat
It doesn't
stroke.
have to go to
my
90,
God.
but it would be nice if it was like 75.
Oh, dear
I'd be very
Lord.
happy about that. Yeah, no, it's been a good week. It's been there's been a lot going on.
Oh my God, so
we opened
busy.
up our Secret Stash signing event on Monday,
Yes.
and we only have a few tickets left. So
Yeah, those. Once you announced who that was, it was gonna.
I know, but I mean,
Well-
listen, folks are getting. It's funny because I've had a couple of folks email me and like, do you realize what a good deal this is? Like, we're getting 2 hardcovers. And that pretty much covers the cost of the ticket. Like, and then you get extra stuff signed. I'm like, just buy your ticket and show up.
And then you
Yes,
know
we
how
do
this works. Like, you'll come in here and you'll get to interact with them for a little bit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know how we do it here.
But the
Yeah.
funny thing is that you're focused on that, but the thing that like slapped in my face, like literally slapped me in my face, was a guy who's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm paying more and I'm getting less." I'm like, how do you figure you're getting less? Because they were going to get a couple of floppies, and now you're getting 2 hardcovers. It's like, yeah, but I was going to get 3 things signed by Kevin, and now I'm only getting 2.
Except that you're getting 2 things,
Except-
2 extra things signed by Kevin, and then you've got Brian O'Halloran here,
Right,
who wasn't able
and-
to make it for the first time around.
I know.
So you've got 2 incredible people.
I know,
Listen,
it's
you can't
lunacy.
focus on that though, because
It makes
there's-
sense. The deal makes sense.
There's
But it
always
drives
gonna
me
be
nuts.
but there's always going to be somebody. I did special events for years and years and years, and I
Hey,
would
my
always,
3 went to 2.
I would always
Yeah.
tell my crew, I'm like, no matter what, guys. First of all, nothing's ever flawless. There's always shit that goes down. The trick is, and the expertise comes in, is that you have a good team when that doesn't show to the outside world. Like the stuff can be burning down, but everybody's happy. The music is still playing.
They never smell
There's
the
still
smoke.
a party, exactly.
They smell toast instead.
But even
Yes,
if you
exactly.
even if you pull off an absolutely flawless, nothing goes wrong, everything goes right, everything goes as planned, you're going to have one person who's going to complain, because some people just have to complain about something no matter what. One of the stories that my mentor told me when I first started and I did my first event, she told me about a big event that they had. This is when I was an advancement officer, raising money for higher education. And she said that they were at a gala and everything was flawless. Everybody was having a great time, rave reviews, et cetera, et cetera. One of the donors gets up, marches back to the kitchen, calls the chef and says, I have a complaint. Everyone's like, their heart in their mouth. It's like, oh my God, did they get a piece of pink chicken? Was their dinner cold? Like, what's the
worst
what's the
nightmare.
reason? No, they had to complain because the chicken breasts were too big. I don't know how you expect me to eat all this. This is outrageous. This is at least half as big as much as it needs to be.
All right.
And it's like, okay, she goes, so you have to realize that no matter how good of a job you do, it's only
Someone's always going to complain.
exactly someone is going to complain about something,
No.
and you cannot let that ruin your day.
Mike, put your chef hat on for a minute. That happens to you. Are you throwing the chicken at this woman?
No, you don't waste food.
You just spit at them.
No, what happens is we follow her out to her car.
And then put the chicken in the gas tank?
No, whoever it gets in there, and that's why I had the best dishwasher / assassins in the world. Halfway through the drive home, Pedro pops up.
Yeah.
It's like, hola, senor. It's like, they ride right off the road. He jumps out the window. It's great.
And for those folks who are asking, like I said, there are a few tickets left. I think the first
Not
and last
many.
slots are sold out completely. But there's some slots in the 12 o'clock and the 2 o'clock slot time slot. And again, if you have any questions or you need to check in with me about something, you can always contact us at thecrewaskew@gmail.com. Just put July 1st event in there. And I'll pick it up and do that. But for those of you who've asked about pictures, so there are no formal pictures.
Not this time around,
And we
folks.
do think that there will be plenty of time because we purposely kept the groups small so people would have plenty of time. And
Oh, it's that block
opportunity.
system again.
Yeah, because I mean, people seem to like it, so we've stuck with it. It was a COVID thing, but now everyone's like, I actually like being able to show up. I know I'm going to get in within a reasonable amount of time. You know, things happen. It depends, but
And then there's like 10-ish minutes to mix and mingle a little bit.
well, there's more than that because we're keeping the group small enough so that it feels like a party, but there's plenty of time for folks to really get a chance to mix and mingle with the guests of honor.
And they'll be able to go over and,
Yeah.
if Kevin's line's too big, you go and you hang out with Brian O'Halloran,
Well,
who's
they're probably
going to
gonna
be there.
sitting
It's going
together.
to be awesome.
But I just wanted to say about pictures that we think it's going to be fine. If you want to have your camera, you want to do a selfie.
Yeah.
You wanna do
Kevin's
a
the
couple
master of the
selfies.
selfie.
He is. The only caveat that we say is that day of, if for some unforeseen reason, which we can't even predict, we have to change course and we have to move people along more quickly, we may have to update that. But right now, it seems like that's going to be fine. There'll be plenty of time to do that in addition to getting stuff signed.
And there's going to be some jackass who's like, hey, my brother couldn't make it. Do you mind if we do a video? Or do you mind calling him? And it's like, oh, my God. All right.
I don't think you should plant. I don't think you should plant things in people's heads.
I was gonna say,
because
that's a good idea.
No, because
Yeah.
because they always do it. It's
gotta-
not, I'm not planting an idea in anybody's head.
You
'cause
guys got to compliment Scott Hoverman.
Scott's the man.
You
Not
always do-
No, it's not Hooverman. It's
Ho-
Hoverman.
Hoverman.
Scott Hoverman.
Sorry.
Love you, Scott.
You guys always do a good job with these events, even though I'm positive there's always something that goes wrong. You'd never know as an attendee.
Thank
well,
you. And
that's
there are
the-
multiple things that go wrong, Scott.
Oh.
Trust me.
well,
But
not
that's-
all the time. I mean,
well-
actually, we've had a pretty good track record.
We've had a
of-
great track record, but stuff
Stuff
because
happens.
Stuff always happens.
Exactly. Like people
Yeah.
get hotboxed and stuff happens. So,
Yeah, we can't control.
What are you gonna
everything.
do?
You can't control everything, but no, I mean, it's a privilege to have
Angelique.
people. It's a privilege to have people in the store. And it's a privilege to be able to hold events
It
and
is.
to welcome people. And it's always a lot of fun. I love, like one of my favorite things about these events is looking at all the pictures people post and all the memories they post. It's great. So, this is going to be another great event. And
Can you make a video for my cat who could not
There you
attend?
go.
There
Done.
you go.
that was Kevin channeled through me saying hello to your cat.
doing a cat video.
Meow.
Magic.
That's
Meow.
amazing. So
There you
yeah,
go.
so we've been having fun getting ready for that, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's responded so positively to the new reservist. We went from an old paper and pencil system in a binder, which we still keep as backup, but recently we implemented Pullbox through Diamond,
We have.
so you can.
To great success, by the way.
I was going to say, I mean, everyone who's signed up for it so far, and we're encouraging everyone to sign up for it because it makes things so much easier to manage, and it gives you a lot more information and insight into like what's going on in the world of comics. But anyway, thanks for everyone who signed up and who's been using it. We love it. Everyone seems to love it. And it's also allowed us to really reach out. We're getting folks signing up from all over the country, and we're looking forward to getting that in action. So if you're interested in knowing more about that program, you can go to our website and click on the reservist tab. All the info is there. But anyway, but I've been working on updating like all of our policies and procedures and putting that into place. So it's been a busy week, but a good week so far.
Sean, do you want to link to my?
We could just chop that out and put
And
that
then
clip out
Hewitt,
for
Put it
we
up.
have something
Meow,
to
meow,
show
meow.
that you
Yeah,
sent us.
Pay no attention to Christian, who's just blocking people on my behalf.
But
Yeah.
but Christian,
Yes.
we know you're always like super busy. So what's been going on in your week, dude? We
Uh,
didn't get a chance to catch up before we got on the air.
Pretty good stuff has been happening. I finally got the chance to outline a movie idea that I've always had, and finally putting it to paper was very kind of therapeutic, because it was also confirming that I was like, I'm not crazy. This can work.
I love that feeling.
So I was like, yes, I got this. So that was pretty cool. I started writing another horror movie with a friend of mine that we're going to hopefully try and do next year.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
That's really cool. But something literally just now happened.
Okay.
When we were joking about the kitchen stuff.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm just saying this now. Copyright Secret Stash Pressings, because this is a cool-ass conversation that you just inspired. Mike, the comic is you run a kitchen of an exclusive restaurant, but it's really a cover for an assassin secret shadow-like place.
Shit, yeah.
Where, well, depending on what you order,
I
is
can't
the
do
different-
autobiographical comics.
No.
Sorry, buddy. That part of my life is over. I'd rather not revisit it. But
I'm sorry if I gave you flashbacks.
no, that's actually how cool is that? Right?
I was thinking about it. That's why I was sitting there, and you were like, "Oh, did you have something to say, Christian?" I was like, "Yes, I do," but it's not what you think. But yeah, no, it was.
Let's do it, man.
I was just sitting there. I was like, "Oh my god, this is actually kind of a cool idea."
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to start scheduling time, like a little bit of time where we get together. We have cappuccino and nosh
No. Oh my god. I just saw the opening.
and do all of this.
I saw the
Put it
opening
all down.
montage.
Okay.
Oh my god. It's like there's a couple come in and they've won like a fabulous 12-course meal.
Okay.
And they're dressed to the nines.
They're at the chef's table.
And they're at the chef's table, and there's a whole bunch of other people going on. And as people are wandering around, they're slowly getting more and more murdered. So and then their bodies just like disappear, and they're
Nothing
gone.
happens, and it's still full. It's still a full
restaurant is
restaurant.
still full. They didn't have to like pull the curtains or anything, but the people they die and they're like thrown down a chute.
Oh, geez.
And, that's awesome. And then
I see this as a comic book.
then there's
see
a
it
guy.
like-
I see it as an actual show, and they butcher the people down there, and then they throw out their corpses. They don't
this
serve
took a
them
dark
because
turn
you don't go
very
like.
quickly.
more and more murdered. That went dark quick. Yeah, that tends to happen. But like,
Zapsic's Killer Cafe.
Wetworks Deli,
the musical.
Wetworks Deli, the musical. We like that.
That's
Oh, we're
excellent.
we make it a musical. Oh my
that would
god,
be
we'll get all the
fucking great.
theater kids. This will be great.
I don't know about those
Hey,
theater kids.
well, we could.
There might be real
We could ask
murders
some of the
going on.
people that just got laid off of IDW to.
All right. Okay. Here we go.
Can we just go into fuck the suits like
All
right
right,
away?
yeah,
Because
hold
I've
on.
been waiting to
Yes.
go on to this.
Fuck
Okay.
the suits.
Guys,
Okay.
this week we have two stories that I shit you not, just the worst the worst case scenario of fuck the suits, guys. This is pretty bad.
I have one thing to say before we dive into both of those. Is someone pointed out to me that perhaps the AI system should not be towards the creative ends. Perhaps it should be, maybe the fucking suits should worry about the AI, because all it is an algorithm anyway. Because, this will work. Fuck that. Get rid of the suits.
Replace them with the AI.
Have them come to my fucking restaurant and sit at the chef's table. Ultimately they will shit, but sit at my chef's table
On their way
and
down
we'll
the
see
chute.
what happens, okay? And yeah, we hose down those fucking shoots every night.
So
But let's get right
But
into
yeah,
like,
fuck them. The AI should replace you cocksucking suits.
yeah, I mean that is generally what I'll kind of agree on, even with both of these stories still being separate. But why don't you explain what's going on over at IDW? What's going on?
Oh, should I? All right.
Do you want to?
Connie, hit it because I'll let you go because I'm going because
So
I
are
have
two-
no love for IDW at
he
all.
He has some personal beef that he's going to share with the studio audience. Anyway, IDW announced layoffs of 35% of their staff, including all their sales and marketing division and folks in their entertainment division, plus some assorted other folks. And they did it in. Okay, so listen, not every company, it's all up. Some have up and down. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions for the health of the company. We all get that. We're all adults. However, there's a way to do it that makes you not a dick and an asshole, and there's a way to do it that proves that you're a dick and an asshole that everyone always thought. And they
guess
did it,
which way
they did it the
IDW
other
went.
way. So they bring in 35% of their staff on. They didn't even bring them in. They just had a 5-minute Zoom call apparently, and we're basically like, you're done. And then cut them off at the knees, like no access to anything. Now, listen, if you've got a disgruntled employee, you've got someone who's been, really ruthless and mean and harassing other employees and making threats, and you let them go, that's the way you handle it, because you know that they're going to go back immediately after you let them go, and they're going to create all kinds of havoc. They're going to try to sabotage.
Yeah,
the
you change the
company,
locks.
all that kind of stuff. You've got a dedicated group of people who've given their heart and soul and their talent to you to help you grow, and unfortunately, you have to let them go for whatever reason. You treat them with dignity, unless you're an asshole. So now we know that the suits at IDW are a bunch of assholes. And IDW has had a hard time. They were the only, I think that they're delisted now, but for a long time they were the only publishing company that was actually listed and publicly traded. And they had some good years, and they haven't been so good recently. They lost a couple of big, what do you call it? Licenses. That have hurt them.
They lost Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Yeah, and I think
Ghostbusters.
that, like a lot of companies, it sounds like, just from different things that we've been reading, that they were cashing checks before they were written on some of their projects. So I don't know, and I don't profess to know a lot about how the entertainment world works in that, in terms of like when you have a concept and then you're pitching it and how long it takes to go through the development process and then actually get done. I know it can take a hell of a long time. And it can go through periods where it's dead in the water and then all of a sudden resurrected, and everything has to happen fast and then dead in the water again.
Yeah, to hurry up and wait.
Yeah, so that can happen. But apparently they had several projects that were sort
On
of
track, honey.
in progress, but instead of waiting for them to actually get made and start making money, they started spending money like they were already in, and so they had
spending
to-
money like they were rich when they
when they weren't
were
rich.
not.
So, but yeah, so I mean, I didn't even know some of the stories that you were telling us before. I just think that the way that they did it was awful, and I think that it's too bad that it happened right around the same time as, of course, if anyone is a writer or has been following entertainment news, you know that the Writers Guild of America is on strike. Because again, fuck the suits. Yes.
I don't get to tell my IDW story.
Oh, I'm going to let you tell your IDW
All right,
story.
cool.
Yeah. I was just kind of like tying these two things together, but now I'm going to turn it over to
I was reading a little bit of the story too, and it was just shocking. Like when they, even when taking into consideration who they were letting go, like people that they cut were people who moved across the country to work for them, people who bought homes, people who were having health issues, and they were just like, nah, they're out. And I'm like, that's got to be the most traumatizing worst case scenario, where you believe in a company enough to move your whole family to go out there and serve what you think is going to be doing like amazing work writing comic books. Like it's your dream. You're actually getting to do it, and then they just cut you off at the knees. It's
I don't think it was much of the writers. It was like their PR team and
not even just writers, but I'm like
Yeah.
just included in there.
Yep.
Like the people that were cut.
Yeah. Well, that does not surprise me because
You got your story.
Oh my God, Ted Adams was like one of the founders of IDW, or the founder, and he went on Twitter. I think after it was during or after our first season, and he wanted
Of Comic Book Man.
Comic Book Man. I'm sorry, of Comic Book Man. So And he went on Twitter and he's like, "Hey, can we start a GoFundMe or GoFundMe
Or
for
petition.
to get rid of Comic Book Men?" And he didn't tag any of us, so like flew under the radar. And someone, because it's Twitter, like, "Hey, Mike, check this out." And I was like, "Oh, really? What a douchebag!" So we were doing I Sell Comics.
He's a suit. What'd you expect?
Exactly. So we're doing I Sell Comics, and Ming's like, "Hey, what do you want to talk about?" I said, "I want to talk about this IDW situation, which, we got Ted Adams, who's, by all means a piece of shit." And I think during, they put out this hardcover that's like, our first 10 years at IDW. And I have no love for Steve Niles either, because he's kind of a piece of shit too. So, but Steve Niles was completely the guy who made IDW. He put them on the map with 30 Days of Night. Like I said, I've no love for the guy, but he was treated shabbily by Ted Adams and all the people running the place. And, I can't not mention Chris Ryle, because he was doing stuff for Kevin. He ran the movie Poop Shoot, and I had my run-ins with him. He was a horrible editor. So for me at least. So he got on. We were talking about that, and we were like saying, Ted Adams, what a douchebag. He didn't even give Steve Niles one bit of credit. So we're going on, right? And he calls up Ming on Ming's cell phone, Chris Ryle, because Ted Adams got on. He's like, "Make these guys your friends. Make them stop talking about me on live." And so we're like, "All right, cool." So he's on the phone. He's like, "You've got to cut. Please don't be like throwing his name around. Don't be doing anything live." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Why wouldn't we?" Because he didn't have the balls to tag any one of us on Twitter.
On his bullshit content.
Yeah, seriously. If you're gonna have those internet muscles, at least have the
And then
at least have the cojones to be like, I'm gonna say this.
like tag them.
Yeah, and I always told Ted Adams, you got a problem with me? Come at me.
Let's
like
have a
man.
discussion. Let's
Yeah.
talk.
So
Like, if you got a problem with Comic Book Men, let us know.
Yeah.
And if it's a change we can make, fuck it. If I don't care what your change is, fuck you. Fucking.
well, I really wouldn't have, for Ted Adams, I wouldn't have changed a goddamn thing.
No.
I think because we weren't
But it seems just stupid as like a comic publisher.
right.
The ones who's heading one. Because, I mean, let's be real. IDW was a big company. So, like, why would
They
you...
were one of the big five. I mean,
But,
yeah.
like, as the head of that, why would you diss what was slowly becoming one of the biggest comic book oriented television shows of all time? Like, that seems pretty shitty for the brand,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and again, I was calling him out for not having said anything about Steve Niles, and which, like I said, the fucker put you on the map, and you gloss over everything that he did for you, and you just start talking about your licensed projects, and it's like, fuck off. So, and I was like, wow, this IDW, not my favorite company. So
karma's a bitch is what you're saying.
I'm saying that, well, he's gone anyway. He left a long time ago, and who gives a flying?
Yeah, but when you spread negativity, that shit can fucking kind of stick around and kind of
stink up the
fester,
place.
stink up the place.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I wouldn't be surprised if
No.
that stink was still stinking up IDW.
No, and
given their current situation.
Exactly, and that now there was something, and if you look it up for me, Christian, the new CEO is like, "We're about to rebrand and we're gonna relaunch. I'm bringing my A game to this," or some shit. Here we go. Who is it? David Jonas? Mm-hmm. Is he one of the Jonas
Josh
brothers?
Frankel?
Hold on.
David
Jonas was named today, appointed today.
Oh,
apparently.
today.
Yeah, as
This is
CEO, and
brand
Joshua
new.
Frankel.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello, everyone.
Uh-huh.
Davidi? Is that Davidi? Davidi Jonas? One of the Jonas brothers?
I don't know.
Now-
Awesome.
Now,
Bop bop. No, that was Hanson, right?
Yeah, that's
We like Hanson. We don't like the Jonas brothers. Well, we might like the Jonas brothers. Not this Jonas brother. Jonesi.
Wait, I'm
You're not. No, I'm pointing that way.
You pointed at me.
I'm
I
not
was
pointing
like,
at you. I'm pointing that way.
I was like, wait a second.
That way.
Don't make
Right in
allegations
between.
like
No,
that.
I would never do that.
Oh man. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's going on, and that's your IDW story.
That's
Yeah,
your
and
IDW story.
IDW can kiss my ass. But here's the thing, and it's really, really funny. But
Charles Rivera, how are you going to be the worst Jonas brother?
now, Chris Ryle didn't know that we were on live, and he's like, "Ming, you got to take this out when you do the editing." He's like, "Oh, okay," and I'm like. Doesn't the motherfucker know we're live? Because we went live, just like we do here. I'm not really big on censoring myself and
Cutting after the
Cutting after
Listen,
the
we've
fact,
only
yeah.
we only did it
Bad
once.
thing.
we only did it once,
only
and it
did
was
it one time,
for
Cody.
my boss. God damn it!
Yeah, because that was important.
That was very important, which was awesome, and nobody noticed. So. But Ming's like, "Oh shit!" and then he went back. And Ming cut it out. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Why would
Ming.
you do that?
I'm like, let it stand. He's like, "No, because I'm gonna give it to Will Wilkins. God bless you, Will Wilkins." And Will's gonna upload it, and then we'll have to take it down and yada yada. I'm like, you don't think Kevin's gonna take it down, do you? No, I mean, no. So no, but it was just.
Well, now you
he's
get
sitting
to
there
tell the
cutting
story
it.
live. Now you get to tell the story live,
Yeah,
which is much more entertaining.
He cut it.
Release the mic cut.
Yeah, I know. I was like, holy crap.
Release the Mike Zapsik cut.
You think he's got it in the vault somewhere? Like he
No.
can pull it out? You
No,
know?
well, probably. Ming is like one of those dudes who like has the Nixon tape someplace. He's like, motherfucker.
We've got drives for
Yeah.
days, people.
He does.
That's
I'm
right,
telling you, he's
that's
got
right.
every bit of
got-
footage he's ever uttered, every word.
You know what's
Release the
you know
mic
what's
cut.
very
That's
fucking
right.
funny about that is how true it is. I went looking for something that I remembered downloading in the early days of a shared universe.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it won't still be around. I found it in a download folder in a fucking drive.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. How is this still here? It's oh my god. It's so true.
Oh, are
You're
you
probably
kidding?
happy though. You're probably happy as hell that you found
I was
it.
happy as hell. I was
know.
like, because I don't even have a copy of that video anymore.
Okay.
Because it was something a friend of mine had made, and I edited it a little bit on the work computer. So something happened to his YouTube channel where the file, he got hacked and the original video got taken down. And I was like, I might have a copy.
Gotcha.
So I was just looking around and I
Ming
found it.
Ming saves everything, and I can tell you because I have like 14. When I divested myself from the shared universe and downloaded stuff to blackmail Ming later on with, I
Full
used
disclosure.
14 thumb drives. I mean, for God's sakes, and I've got like a team of people going through it right now. So 3
Yes, he does,
crews,
Scott. Yes, he
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I
He'd
love
have,
this.
he'd have to have an Enron-sized staff come in
It's
to destroy
amazing.
everything the day that he wants to destroy.
Oh my God, when Ming wants to thank God he doesn't believe in paper files because
Oh my
holy
God.
God.
It'd be the size of this place.
I'm telling you, it'd be like the size of the Indiana Jones warehouse.
Oh my God, he's just wheeling the next
Warehouse
archive
13.
Yeah, right.
into the Warehouse 13. It's Warehouse 13. I
Yeah,
love.
we can have fun making fun of Ming because he's
What
on a
truck?
plane. He's on a plane to. Is he going? Is it Anchorage?
He's
Anchorage,
something.
He's
Alaska?
going to Anchorage, Alaska.
Where in the world
Alaska.
is Ming Chen?
Yes, where in the world is Ming Chen? I think he's in Anchorage, Alaska. Yeah, he's. We were teasing the other day. We're saying we're gonna have to charge him a location fee because he comes in. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He runs back here, films something like a promo for his upcoming con, and then he leaves. I'm like, dude, no hug, no kiss, no nothing. I mean, you just like come in and film. It's like I feel used. We feel dirty here sometimes when that happens. So yeah, you gotta at least stop by and chat for a few minutes.
Nah, he
come in and out.
chats.
He does.
He chats. Come on, we're just teasing.
I don't want him to chat. I'm like, you
We
done?
definitely
Get
need.
out.
We definitely need a storage unit like that. Can we go halfsies, Ashley?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm definitely down for like this cool ass archive. It'd be cool. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
I
would
don't
be
know.
cool.
Our own Warehouse 13, Warehouse 69. I'm cool with this.
For sure.
Oh
for
my
sure.
God, Angelic.
I swear, you guys.
I love you. You're awesome, but now you're making me feel real old.
She's described. I swear, you guys are describing my grandma. She literally keeps everything from
Old DVDs to old CDs. Oh my God, she must be ancient.
It's thrilling to find stuff, though. I remember when we went down to the basement. Do we still have them, or did Kevin take them?
What?
When they shadow boxed the discontinued T-shirts.
Oh, they took them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but that was pretty cool to see. I mean, I hadn't seen some of them. I had never seen.
Oh my
before.
God, yeah. We had the old, the Jay and Silent Bob as C-3PO and R2-D2.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that old shirt that was wrapped around. It was ripped.
Ashley, it's the real Smithsonian.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Who said that, Ashley? Nice. That is very funny. So anyway, the other fuck the suits is the writer's strike.
Writer's strike. Yeah, guess what? Every
Yeah,
single one of the.
We're about to get a lot more reality shows, kids.
WGA.
Well, guess what?
Oh, you know
Hate
why?
to tell
Because the fucking suits think that they can now just plug AI in,
Yeah.
and they don't need to pay actual people.
Why
who
don't
have
we
talent
plug AI into their fucking
write.
suits?
to
So,
write.
So, for those who are not aware, the Writers Guild of America has initiated a strike against the big studios. Big studios meaning NBC Universal, Sony, Disney, Netflix, Amazon, all the major companies that we got problems with. The first immediate effect that we've already felt is that all of the late night shows have just stopped. SNL is not airing for the foreseeable future.
Thank God.
Late night with any of these fucking talk show hosts is done for right now, and it is all in solidarity.
I was going to say, but they're
increase the
doing that in
payment.
solidarity,
Yeah,
right?
to increase the payment of the writers. I think
Mm-hmm.
certain shows are actually paying their staff while this is going on, which is very, very cool
Mm-hmm.
and reflectant of something that Conan did during
Conan's a class act, man.
yeah,
I'm
because
telling you.
he was a writer first and foremost.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on The Simpsons especially, and he was very funny.
Yeah. So the reason this is going on is because do you guys know what a minimum guarantee is? At least in terms of like film and television.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know what that is.
So for those who do not know at home, a minimum guarantee is like when you write for a broadcast, especially broadcast television show, you get a minimum amount regardless. Like you get X, you will always get X regardless.
You mean no matter how many episodes? Or
Well,
how
it'll
long
be
it
episode
runs?
dependent.
Okay.
Yeah, like you'll get it
Alright.
per episode, but there's minimums in place. With streaming now in the picture, there are no minimums. So you can make shows for criminally low costs because you're not paying really your writers' teams or your writer rooms. And that's also something that the suits have been trying to get rid of is writers' rooms, where they're trying to basically impose much more work on a smaller group of people to make these things happen because it make more money, pay them less, essentially. Keep the pockets of the big suits lined while the writer of your favorite TV show is struggling to pay their rent. And for me, that is just completely unacceptable. I think if you write for a show like Stranger Things, you should be able to pay your rent.
You should be able to buy a house.
You should be able to buy a house. You should be able to fucking.
But you know what? The suits are the suits. And I'll tell you a good fuck the suits story. So when Comic Book Men was running, we were invited to go on one of the press tours. And part of it was at the end of the night, they had a little cocktail thing and they had the suits from the network that was airing Comic Book Men. And I don't even remember the dude's name, so I can't, I'm not like I'm protecting anybody. I just honestly don't remember. He was some slimy dude, so I could tell that right away. But we were like chit-chatting, and he happened to be working on Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad had just announced that they were going to be filming their last season. And so I said to him, well, good for you for, good for you for making the decision to give the series, which has meant so much to so many people and been so well done, a dignified send-off. Like, you're not going to drag it out till a point that it's unwatchable. And he turned to me and he goes, fuck that. He goes, I would run that show into the ground if they'd let me. The writers just up and decided that, that it was done and that you couldn't do anything more with it. He's like, I'd milk that cow. And I'm just like, okay. And like, you're the one with the power over the budget. You're the one, that can green light things. I'm like, you're such a piece of shit. But, I was just like, sort of like, that is the gross part of that part of the business. And I mean, there's just no dignity. There's no honor. There's no vision.
So do you know what another big point of contention with this strike is? It's the use and implementation of AI. Because no writer wants to get a job that their movie that they're going to write is generated by a fucking artificial intelligence. That's ridiculous. So one of the big things with the Writers Guild is that they're like, no,
Right.
we are not using that in any way, shape, or form. Like, that is it. And you know what the suit said?
See ya.
No, we reject that proposal. We'll have meetings about our technology advancement. I'm like, because there's actually, I'll share it on my Twitter because I actually found it last night. I was going through it. It's literally the Writers Guild's demands of what they want,
Right.
and then what their counter offer was doing. And a big thing also is residuals for streaming shows,
Yeah.
because residuals on regular television, it's easy to come by because it's easy to, quote unquote, easy to come by because that's a system that's been in play
Right, streaming.
for years. Streaming was the fucking monkey wrench that threw everything for a loop. So there's a vast amount of back pay that is owed to these fucking writers, and I think deservedly so. And it's not even a lot of money. Like, in comparison to, like, these CEOs are making hundreds of millions and into the billions damn near every year, and these guys are asking for pittance, and the suits are like, we'll give you like 2% of your pittance. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's really fucking abysmal, and
And
it's very disheartening because it's like, this is an industry that I want to go into, and especially seeing how writers are treated in the sense of like, we'll line our pockets, but like, I don't give a fuck if you can make a payment on your place while we're making millions off of fucking everything that you create.
Or I don't care that you moved halfway across the country, to come work for us. Same thing, same fucking attitude, which is just kiss my ass. And that same guy, I remember that junket. That guy was like leaning into you, and he was. I jumped in there, and like I'm like, hey, how you doing? Because he was like backing you into a corner.
He's a total creep.
He was and I like jumped in there. I'm like, yeah, that's really great, and I don't really fucking care that you're like pushing my wife into a corner. She's
weird.
married, asshole. Get your leg away from her. So I was like, yeah.
I wish I
not that I don't want to rest here for a while, but I have a question for Christian.
Sure.
Yes.
Because I know that you're following this very closely. So one of the things I read when I was trying to get caught up to speed about the writer's strike is they were not really a parallel, I guess, but they were talking about how some lawsuits are already in the works we were talking about this before, for digital, why am I blanking? Artists, like creatives, like real artist creatives, who are alleging that AI is taking, that the reason why AI can reproduce work is because they're taking illegally their original source work.
Well, because that's a
And-
big point of contention with just AI in general,
Right.
and that is something. So there was a story we talked about a couple of weeks ago where this company Corridor Digital had created this animated short film, but they had used AI and a system AI that was trained on artwork stolen from other artists to create their AI. That was like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, how is that allowed? So it was a situation of just like, it's something very similar where it was kind of like, okay, if you want to create a database of screenplays and have that fucking start writing movies for you, no. Like that.
Because that was my question is, if they're going to feed in every movie script that's been written in the last 20 years and let AI go to town, don't they owe the people that wrote those scripts, don't they owe them some kind of credit, or
But
is that
that's the point, because
Yeah.
that's also the thing of the future that we need to consider. If your work is being used in an AI training database, one, are you allowed to opt out of it? Two, do you get paid for it?
right?
Three, can you just say fuck no in general? And I think that we need to start considering the fact that we need to give people those options, because just having the ability to train this database so willingly on copyrighted images, at least in the corridor thing I was talking about, we're starting to cross into gray areas where it's going to start to be very, very creepy. Like, people have started sharing, like, originally where they're like, oh, here's an AI generated video, it's gonna wipe us out in a couple years and it looks like shit. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like shit now, but give it another 5 or 6 years and it'll look pretty damn good.
Of course. I mean, take a look at The Simpsons when they did that 3D. That was like one of the original 3D animated, when they did the Treehouse of Horror with Homer going into the fourth dimension.
Yes.
Going into ours. It looked like shit. It's like, oh, that's
It looks
awful.
like shit now.
Of course, but that was like the training ground.
Yeah.
That was like, all right, here's what we're pushing. But you have to learn to walk before you can run.
No, 110%.
So, I mean, and the thing that breaks my heart is like Katie Sackhoff, who I think
She's
is
awesome.
amazing. She's given permission for them to use her voice after she's gone.
Why?
That because she wants continuity. She wants them to be able. She wants herself to live on.
Is she dying?
No.
No,
I mean, any
listen.
more than any of us are dying.
I mean,
but,
a day
we're
at a
all
time.
dying,
But yeah, no.
But
She
I
wants
thought,
to-
you were going to
No.
say she'd been diagnosed with something
No,
terrible. and
but
she's-
James Earl Jones also gave that permission, that they can use the technology available to render his voice as Darth Vader.
See, I have kind of a surprising opinion on this. As long as you're able to consent, I think it's okay.
Okay.
I think with Kate and James Earl Jones, it's a situation of like, that's what they want. They want to be able to be, in a weird way, they want to be able to be the personality that could live on past even their lifespan.
They want to be immortal.
They want to be immortal. And that is, I mean, to some people, that is something that they truly dream about being. And with this power of AI and where we're heading with the technology we've been creating, like, at least in film, it's possible. So in those two circumstances, or at least in those two situations, they gave permission. Where I have a problem is when they're just doing it willy-nilly with people that have long been gone. For example, people have now started using AI to create songs from artists who have since passed away.
I was just going to ask you that because I mean, you have a very personal connection to that. I was going to say, like, would you ever consider giving permission if someone bothered to ask
Hell no.
permission? If they came to you and
No.
said, "Listen, I want to have your dad. I want to sample your dad into this song, and I want
You want to
AI
do
to
it?
do
It's going to cost you $2.5 billion.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Fair.
There you go. You want that?
I can only
That's
imagine,
how much it's gonna
I
cost.
can only imagine you're out somewhere and all of a sudden you hear something and you're like, "Holy shit, I know that voice!" And someone has just taken your dad's voice and like shoved it in something that they did. I'd be like burning shit down.
So there's an eerie example of this, and it's, oh my God, Angelique actually just hit it. So someone posted an AI generated collaboration between Prince and Michael Jackson.
Oh my God.
That never existed. And then someone who I follow as a music producer, they made an original Michael Jackson track from writing the song and making it sonically sound like a Michael record of the 80s and 90s. But then the voice that he used, like, he sang it in a Michael way and then used an AI synthesizer to make it sound like Michael. And that is so unbelievably creepy to me, where it's like, that dude is dead. Like, he did not give his we weren't in an age to give the permission
Right.
for that to happen. Like, we're gonna be like, and listen, the music industry is fucked. Like, it's fucked right now. It's fucking terrifying.
It's
the way
been
that they're
fucked for decades.
Yeah, but like, slowly but surely, it is slowly getting worse. And it is. I wouldn't even doubt it if there was going to be a company that popped up that would be like, hey, new Sinatra record.
But how can they do that? I mean, there are corporations. I mean, listen, I knew one of the gals who helped build one of the most successful businesses, and they have, it's a software that crawls the internet, and if they catch you, using copyrighted music in a way that you're not, you haven't been given permission to, they will shut you down. They'll report that for copyright infringement. So how can that be happening, right? Everyone's clamping down, everyone laughs. It's like, oh my God, I can't even have, my favorite song playing in the background when I'm filming gardening because they'll take my channel down and stuff like that. How can I go from there to, it's perfectly acceptable to take anything from anybody as long as AI scrambles it and claim it's your own?
Because it's an unregulated wild west right now.
Yep.
And Sean just left a comment. Wells Fargo uses voice verification, and someone just cloned their voice and used it to hack a bank account.
Oh shit!
So we are in the age of now people are not going to be able to distinguish when it's an AI generated bullshit thing and a real thing. Like that Michael Jackson song that I was talking about. I was like, yo, did I just find a never heard track? This is amazing. And then in the comments, fan made, used producing AI. I was like, whoa. And it just, it felt so weird. So what I think is going to end up happening is now we're going to get into an age where it's not just your voice. I mean, your songs that are going to get copyrighted. I think we're going to enter an age where we are now going to be able to copyright a voice.
We should be able to copyright it.
Yeah.
That's true. And it's Angelique, Chris McDonald. Kiss my big old ass. Angelique.
I'm not seeing those, whatever those comments that must be coming over on
Him and
StreamYard.
Engelbert Humperdinck are having an argument in the comments.
Sean,
So what's new?
I'm sure you can make it as dull and lifeless as we do. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, that's...
And did you say right meow? Oh my God.
You stop it. You stop it right now. I'm not even going to highlight your comment,
That's
even
right.
if it's good. The fact that those two people, Angelique actually commented, the fact that those two people's voices could so easily be manipulated is so scary and weird to me. I can only imagine how these people's families feel seeing, though, as they are dead and have been for a while. Can you imagine if his his children stumble upon that and think oh, I haven't heard this, and it's not their dad? No. That's got to be the creepiest feeling in the world.
I mean, you just said it. You would be like,
I'd be infuriated.
yeah, of course.
That's just me personally. But if my dad had given the permission, and I do know my dad was someone who did follow technological trends. He had to be. He was a producer. So it was something where I can't say for certain if he would ever approve of wanting his voice AI generated. So I'm glad I don't see PM Dawn AI generated PM Dawn new track, because also it's very easy to see it's very easy to find, and that's also kind of the blessing and the curse of what's going on right now with my dad's music, is that it's being made by someone who we do not consent to make it, who has the name PM Dawn. So it's very easy to distinguish who PM Dawn is by the different eras. Whereas if now these AI things started to pop up, it would be like, well, who what is that? What's that? Who is that? Yeah, so it is just a thing that I've found, that I personally find to be very, very abysmal, and I wish that companies like YouTube would crack down on it a little bit better, because it is very fucking strange.
It is weird. And
even now, I was finding I saw a video where Paul McCartney did a cover of "Don't Worry Baby" by the Beach Boys. I was like, oh, cool, AI generated.
yeah.
I'm like, that's not right.
No.
That one never happened. I wish it happened, but it never happened. Two, I guarantee you Paul McCartney does not have or has given permission for any AI company to use his voice.
No, absolutely not.
In one way, my ultra paranoid anti Skynet self, I'm seeing a light. I'm seeing a rainbow, right, in this rambunctious thunderstorm, because I'm thinking to myself, all right, we are quickly approaching a time, and I'm thinking about a series of pictures. I guess I was on Twitter doom scrolling, and I saw this conversation where there's some conspiracy theory out there that people are saying that Michelle Obama's girls aren't hers. She adopted them because there are no pictures of her being pregnant. So then someone posts all these. They're like, yeah, like look at the lengths they're going to propagate this. Or to support it. I don't know. Anyway,
AI-generated propaganda is a real
AI-generated
fucking
pictures
problem.
of her pregnant, but it wasn't really her. But the pictures were so good. It's like I thought. I mean, I would have bought it, but we're and who cares? I mean, they're her girls, so and leave her alone. Like mind your own fucking business. But anyway,
Yeah, do you want to be used?
But
your name will be Scott Baio. You're Scott Baio if you do that.
But my point is that we're reaching a time when, honestly, the only thing that will be don't
leave me hanging.
Don't leave them hanging. The only thing that we'll be able to really trust is this, right? Is this.
Yeah.
Like being right next to each other, being able to look you in the eye, hear your voice with my own ears, see how you're dressed and what's going on. Because if I log on to the internet and I see Christian dressed up as, the Colonel.
Y'all know what I what I wear. If you see me dressed up in some shit, it probably ain't true.
I'm gonna buy you a fucking one of them white suits with the bolo tie, and you're gonna have to wear that.
I'd wear it on air.
The fucking Kentucky Colonel. But you know what I mean? It's like we're reaching a thing where it's like, big breaking news, and you look at it, you're like, it's probably fake. It's probably fake.
Yeah.
Everything is like it's probably fake. And
I will say that, like, I hate to admit it, but there are some times where I have been tricked by it, like when Trump was indicted recently, and I was waiting. I was like, I want to see the mugshot. I want to see it so badly. And someone on Twitter shared a picture of what looked like Trump being just manhandled by police, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Now, with AI, there's one easy way to spot a fake.
Okay.
And it's look at their hands.
Really?
Because if you look at their hands, there's always extra fingers and there's extra bones.
No.
I'm not even kidding. It's the easiest way to do it.
Really?
The faces might look slightly off, but you can always look at the hands.
Hands?
Extra bones? For whatever reason, AI can't do hands well. So until that problem is figured out, if you suspect something is AI, look at the hands.
Also, if they have wings, they look weird too. So, all right, we went off on a fucking tangent.
We did,
but listen,
it was great.
It's the suits.
You fucking
These fucking
piece of
suits.
Shit.
Oh, they fixed this hands thing. Fuck.
Don't tell me that, Sean.
I'm gonna.
That's
make
the one
Mike
way
a
I
shirt
know.
with Chris's face and a shit. That's awesome. Yes, I think we still need to get to a couple of things, and we just went off. I know we have actually 2 editions of Top 5 today. We have our regular Top 5.
We do.
But we also have a bonus Top 5 because this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, is Free Comic Book Day. And
Top
Stash,
10.
as always, will be participating in Free Comic Book Day. In fact, we have not only will we have free comic books available to folks. We open at 11 on Saturday for Free Comic Book Day, but Ross Brewing, that just opened up in Port Monmouth, is going to have some free comic books starting on Saturday, and we actually have some back stock of free comic books from last year that we're sending up to Smod Castle Cinemas for folks going to Guardians tomorrow. So we can't give out Saturday's books early. Can't. It's like a code of honor, but we have some really great stuff, and if you're a collector, it actually might be even more interesting to collect stuff because there's not that much out there from last year. So. But anyway, it's free. They're comic books and they're free.
Gonna hit the top 5.
So Michael's going to talk about his top 5 picks of the free comic books.
Now,
as well.
if I hit the top 5, do you want me to just mute it so that I'll do the beat? You do top 10.
No,
top 10.
No, do top 5.
Top
All right.
5. Yeah.
You guys know what time it is.
Yeah.
Top 5! Top 5! Top 5!
All right, it's top 5 time. Mike.
All right, here
What
we
you
go.
got?
Here are the top 5 free comic book days. I'm just going to zip through these because you're going to have to read them. I did, and these are my favorites of all. Well, actually, all free comic books are my favorites, but these are especially favorites. Here, Ranger Academy.
Boom.
Bam.
Comic number 1. Comic number
Dawn of
2.
DC, Night Terrors. This is what you're going to want to read this summer.
Bam. Comic number 3.
Free comic book day, Uncanny Avengers.
Ooh, I like that cover.
Yeah, I know.
Comic number 4.
I Am Stan.
What?
This is a comic, a graphic biography of Stan Lee.
Is that first? That's 10 Speed Press by 10 Speed Press.
That is wonderful.
Speed Press.
I
Yeah.
love that.
It's
and
amazing.
comic number 5.
Marvel Voices. I love this. It's fantastic.
You know what? It used to. I was talking with someone recently, and it used to be that Free Comic Book Day. You know, you'd go in and you'd be like, okay, this is a bunch of crap, and it was a bunch of also
crap.
rans that the publishing houses were getting rid of. But now they really turned
That's
it
pretty
around.
good.
They had no. You know what? They got with the program and they realized that Free Comic Book Day is an excellent opportunity to showcase some of the best stuff that you can get hooked on, and really get people excited and wanting more. And
They're
to come
actually
back
doing
for
it
more.
properly now.
They are doing it properly.
All right,
now.
Mike. Comic number 6. What is this?
This is my true top 5. This is what I want you to go out and buy.
Ooh.
This is
Comic number 1.
from Oni Press, and I love Oni Comics, Oni Press. This is Lamentation number 1 by Cullen Bunn. I'm a huge Cullen Bunn fan, and this is a young lady who wishes to be an actress or an actor.
An actor. She wants to work in the theater.
She wants to work in the theater, the legitimate theater, and mayhem ensues, folks. And it's actually really, really cool. I'm not going to give away any of Cullen's sleight of hand in here, but it's really, really well done.
That's a good read.
Yes.
There we go. Next.
Dawn of DC, Adventures of Superman, John Kent. John Kent is bouncing around the multiverse. That is not the first and only time it is the first time, but it's not the only time I'm going to say someone is bouncing around the multiverse in a DC comic this week. John is in the Injustice universe.
Ooh.
Injustice from the
Wait a
video
minute.
game.
Can I see that book?
You
real
sure
quick?
can.
Because I actually think I saw a couple of pages of this on Twitter. Someone had pointed. Yep, this is the comic. The ending of this book. Is a little. It's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not going to spoil it.
No,
it's,
but
it's a read.
It's John goes and meets his father, who would have been in another universe.
Yeah.
And who's the Superman who lost Lois and his son to the Joker, and that's what set him on the path to taking over the world. So John is there to try and right a couple of wrongs. So next up is Avengers War Across Time, number 5. The Avengers have been going up against Kang and his minions. I love me some Alan Davis art. And I love me some really just simplistic, not simplistic writing, but a simple story. My wife hates time travel. This is the very definition of time travel, but it's very straightforward. And they have to get from point A to point B, or actually from point C back to point A. So they
That's
run
straightforward
through.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the way they did
How did I
it,
end up with him?
the way they did is pretty awesome, and it's beautiful. Look at this art.
It's
Well,
wonderful.
just look at the pretty pictures. And
You can look at
the
the pretty
words.
pictures,
Okay,
honey.
thanks.
Just like me. You look at me. That's. Don't listen to me. Just look at me.
This is you got.
That's exactly how we.
Angelique is just discovering your hatred of time travel. Yeah, this is the point of contention. All right, what do we got next?
Shazam number 1. This is the Captain's new introduction to the DC universe, and he is called the Captain now. That's his nickname.
The Captain?
They can't call him Shazam,
Why?
or he can't call himself Shazam, really,
Because.
because he'll turn back into Billy Batson.
Ah,
Like, who are you? I'm Shazam. Oh shit. So, but this is really, really cool. And
This is a good week, man.
Billy's
This is some
got,
good stuff.
well, I mean, that's because it's double our usual take.
It's true.
Now, remember I said someone was bouncing around the multiverse? It wasn't just John Kent. It is also Bruce fucking Wayne. Bruce Wayne Batman
BFW.
has been bouncing around. There is, for the past, for Chip Zdarsky's run on Batman, he sent poor Bruce into the multiverse to go after the Red Mask. And my man...
Batman Beyond?
You saw a bunch of stuff. My man Bruce is
You have to
in
hold it up.
Batman 89 world.
I like this.
He is in Vampire. He's in Red Rain world. Where else is he? Here we go. Look at all these. There he is. He is in Animated Land. And he's also in Terry McGinnis Land.
So what you're saying is that this is Batman across the Batman verse?
This is the Batverse.
This is the
And this is awesome. Actually, this is my favorite.
Oh, yeah. It's the boy, Adam West Batman.
Yep. And he gives Batman his utility belt because he was missing his utility belt. And that right there, that's our boy. That's Frank
Wait a minute.
Miller.
Is that the Frank Miller Batman
sir.
with
Right
the
there. There you go.
66 Batman belt?
No, well, no. That's did he?
No,
take his
on the
belt?
page before. Look.
Did he take the belt?
Oh, it's
No.
No.
No. He's got the belt. He's just that's his regular belt.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
Batman.
love this, and I love the artwork distinctions. It's easy to lean into definitely a cohesive.
However,
style.
I'm going to show you one thing. So,
What?
the Red Mask he's going through timelines, going through the multiverse, creating more Jokers.
What?
That's his function. Yeah, and I don't give a shit if you didn't read this today. I'm telling you. And so he starts throwing one of the most famous of the Batman stories out there is the Steve Englehart and Marshall Rogers Laughing Fish. So they start throwing fish at him. Not just any fish.
They start throwing
Sharks.
sharks. They throw the
Sharks.
one thing Batman's prepared for at him.
He
Do
has
you
shark
think?
repellent. He has shark repellent in his belt, right?
He's got the
You
shark
damn
repellent.
Skippy, he's ready for him.
got shark
Bat
repellent.
shark repellent.
That's
And
right.
Here's the best line.
Oh, everybody who watched the 66
I finally
knows
met a
that.
Batman more prepared than I am, which is fucking awesome.
Everybody knows that Batman carries shark repellent in his utility belt.
And then,
Oh shit!
Surprise.
then we've got, and this,
Patrick wants to know: do the sharks have frickin' laser beams attached to their heads?
of course they do. What kind of shit show do you think we're running here?
Do we
This
wanna-
is amazing.
Yes, that was
felt
a
like an
lovely,
ending.
That was a lovely summation of top five.
you.
Well done, Mr.
I
Zdarsky.
like Batman across the Batman verse. I really kind of want that now.
Yes.
Okay.
I want that as an
We might
animated
be able to
movie.
get you a copy of that.
Oh, is that one issue or is that a couple of issues?
There's a, you know what? I'll get you the trade paperback when it comes out, okay? That's my gift to you. It's my belated birthday gift.
That's what's up.
Oh, speaking of which,
Do we want to?
how was your birthday gift?
It was delicious.
I think you said criminally delicious.
Criminally delicious.
Yes, earlier. So that was nice.
I was mad my food was over, so I couldn't enjoy it more. I was like, hey yo, stop. But no, that was
That's
fucking
awesome.
delicious. So
do
thank
we
you.
want to show? Do we want to show Chris Hewitt's unboxing?
Oh yeah, let's
video?
do that.
That was adorable.
It was we want to
That
thank.
was adorable.
Want to thank Chris Hewitt.
I
sent us
before
Oh, no,
Chris
we have
Hewitt,
something else. Okay.
there was just a
Oh my God,
that's
yes.
a very nice compliment, Christian. The talent that runs through generations of your family, right up to you, is awe-inspiring, amazing, and so much more. Wish I could have told your pops in person, but I'm glad I get to tell you. Thank you, man. That was
That
was
absolute-
that?
that's
Who was
Kyle.
very very nice.
Kyle?
Kyle's a sweetheart. Thank you. You're a super fan.
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that, man. That was really
Oh,
kind of
that
you.
is very nice.
That took me off for a second. I was like, wait. All right,
No
cynical.
wonder.
Fuck the suits. I'm good.
Yeah.
Punch your wall. I'm good. All right, I'm back. All right. So, what was the context of this video? Who sent this in? This was
is Chris Hewitt.
This is Chris Hewitt.
Chris Hewitt bought a set of the prints that we debuted from Disgruntled Projects.
And this is
which
his
are
unboxing.
absolutely
his
fucking
unboxing.
adorable.
We had to
so,
watch
yes.
it to make sure that he wasn't
Yeah.
burning them at the
Yeah.
end.
They didn't like squirt lighter fluid on there. Like, thanks so much, fuckos.
I mean, if he bought them,
Hey, yeah, that's. I mean, yeah. His
10%
he's
still
outside.
going to
His entire
Jason's
house is
dreams.
up.
Yes,
You know,
exactly,
just
exactly.
like fucking in flames. He's like, "You people, I hate you. My house is on fire."
here's the video, folks.
Hello, I got this from Jay and Bob's Secret Stash from Red Bank, New Jersey. Some artwork that they got to print out. The first one is the Flintstones. Yabba dabba doo. Don't be a douchebag. The second one is another classic and a favorite of Christian Cortez's. The Jetsons. Never go Astro to the mouth. I agree. And this one I had personally asked for since they have a Fuck the Suits skit every Wednesday afternoon. Fuck the Suits. STF. And Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you?
That was an
I
excellent.
love
was an
that.
excellent-
Thank
That
you,
was cool.
Christopher.
Yes.
And my new favorite song now is "Meet the Jetsons, Fuck the Douchebag." I
know,
love
I
it.
love it.
That was so cool.
That's
I
awesome.
hope you enjoy them, man. They were
Absolutely.
that was a treat to see those in person.
Yeah.
I now understand what the art of sign, move, sign.
I know
move.
you should have seen Christian, man. At first he was a little hesitant, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm going to channel my mentor.
I'm not even kidding.
Kevin
I literally
Smith.
said that. I was like, let me channel.
Okay, I'm
let
going
me-
to channel Kevin. Here we go. Bam, 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 bam. That's right.
Oh yeah, we did have a Flintstones print, so that's pretty in line. So
Yeah.
bam. But yeah, no, that was. I hope you guys enjoy them. They're still on sale. The first run of comics, and 10% of them goes to Jason's
Dream for Kids.
just Jason's Dreams for
for
Kids.
Kids, yep.
So it's not just. It's for a good cause, y'all.
Yeah, we're not suits, folks.
Yeah, we're not suits.
Trust me, we're not suits.
And not if I ever were to be though, I think that someone would be like, "You remember your old show? You can't. You know how to fuck up as a suit."
Trust me. Trust me.
I'd be
I'm
a
gonna
good
keep
suit.
You honest. Don't
yeah,
worry about it.
I'd be a good suit. I promise.
I'm gonna keep you honest. When you hit it big, I will be in your ear like Jiminy fucking Cricket. I was gonna say Jiminy fucking Criminal.
I like that. All right, Chris, you know what to draw next.
Jiminy fucking Criminal, Chris.
So where can people get these?
Oh, you
beautiful
can
prints?
go on to the Secret Stash
online.
online, yeah. Secret Stash online, and we'll sign them for you. Put something in there special, just like we did for Christopher Hewitt. We can put "Never Go Astro to Mouth."
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to write that for you. Which I thought was pretty fucking clever.
It is
so
clever.
yeah,
It is clever.
say something. Go ahead, McDonald.
There's one other thing
Okay.
that I do want to bring up before we go, because
This is important too.
This is kind of important biz. So for those who do know my buddy Chris Mad, our buddy Chris Mad, he was a former employee of the Secret Stash. Still, he works at Shared Universe, and for those who
He's also a
recognize,
musician. He's got a
a
band.
musician.
He tours.
He's
That's
got
right.
He's got a little band called Serious Matters. They were on the Clerks 3 soundtrack, and they just toured. And when they came back, Chris's apartment was unfortunately flooded. We had some rain here that was just
Epic.
detrimental to where he lived. They lost a lot of stuff, unfortunately. So we, some good buddies of his are trying to organize a little GoFundMe to help Chris and Paige out with the costs of the recovery of stuff. So if you guys could donate, amazing, but if you can't, just sharing it helps. It really does. Chris and Paige are great people. This did not deserve to happen to them in the fucking slightest. There's a suit up there we got to have some words with. So, but yeah, so if you guys could share or donate, that'd be much appreciated. I'll put the link in the comments below. But that is because I love my good buddy Chris Mad. Chris is one of my dearest friends.
Chris is an amazing guy.
He has come by here, and he's also a whiz with computers. And there have been a couple of times where we've had some issues, and Chris is just, you just can't wait to have him walk through the door.
I know, he's just
he puts you in a better mood.
He
God
absolutely
damn it,
does.
yes.
Yeah, he really does.
And Paige, I've gotten to meet her a couple
She's
of
such a
times.
sweetheart.
She's such a talented person, such a sweetheart too. So yeah, absolutely.
And it is absolutely, this is heartbreaking. We went through a flood. It sucks. And you know what? It blows. It really does. And I mean, you and I went through it. It sucked. So we wish them nothing but the best. And
You know what? I have to say that it's kind of neat to live. I remember being a little kid and reading about potlatch, which I'm kind of trying to remember as a little kid, so I'm probably going to get it wrong. But the best I can remember is that it's something that some early civilizations used. I think I was reading a book that focused on Native American characters, so they were using it in that context. But the idea is that if someone in your community suffers, everyone can pitch in a little bit and make that person whole, so that and it kind of reinforces, and the expectation is that what goes around comes around, right? So it really is like karmic based, and I like the fact that we have it's one of the things in technology. I'm like yes to technology for that. I think it's great that technology can enable us to come together as a community and support each other, in good times. Fundraising for like cool projects, but also when people need some help.
Anything that allows me to get together with people on the internet to say collectively, fuck the suits is something I appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Absolutely.
We won't talk about that because I already brought us down last week. Sorry about that one, folks. Sorry for ending last week's on such a down note, but we can end on an up note. This is, if you have the means, by all means, share. And if we can get Chris and Paige whole, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. Just whole, because it's a traumatic event. You come home and your entire life is like upended. It sucks. I remember when I walked into our house, all of our furniture was up against the door because it like.
Yeah, there's nothing like
horrible.
that first viewing.
And seeing like a fucking fish in my house. Yeah, there was a dead fish on my floor because of the flood.
Jesus.
So yeah, there were and ducks in my backyard.
But if you can help, we're going to be able to help. Yeah. So that is what it's not, the situation is a downer, but Chris is such a good person that it's a situation of like, when I called him, we were making jokes. Like we just laughing and talking about it. Like it was something that he needed, but it was for sure like a situation where they will bounce back. They will be okay, but they do need a little bit of help. And that's just what I wanted to say. I love you guys.
And you can piss the bed and no one's going to know. So that's nice. You got to look at the upside.
We're going to have to come up with a way to end the show that doesn't let Michael talking about pissing the bed. So I don't know.
I didn't say it, Chris. It was him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is another episode of Live from the Secret Stash. We had some comics, we had some discussions, we had some talks. Fuck the AI, fuck the suits, fuck all that bullshit.
Yeah, fuck
but
we
join
love
us.
you.
But we love you.
And
join us at the
thank you
same
for
bat
joining
time,
us.
same bat channel.
Absolutely.
See you next week.
Peace.
Take care, y'all.
Hey kids, we're live at the Secret Stash with Mike, Julia, and Christian. It's a hella bash. Tune in and check out the podcast. We got the nerd button on repeat and we're gonna smash. Come on in, I assure you that we're open shoe polish on our signs, cause our locks are always broken.